Hey, I'm Digit Murphy. Welcome to the Six Fix Podcast. We are podcasting today from the bubble. I am here with one of our top forwards, Breanne Wilson-Bennett. She's been one of the stars of the bubble up until today, and she's looking to win the Isabel Cup for the Toronto Six, as am I, as the coach. So, Bree, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Dig.
You having fun?
I am having a blast.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things that we've experienced now have been just crazy. And I think, you know, as an athlete, a lot of people don't know your story. But as an athlete, and I'm going to break the news to them right now, that has type 1 diabetes, being in a bubble, I'm sure it's a little crazy for you. But can you walk us through a little bit of your story, just so the viewers know?
Yeah, I mean, I was diagnosed with diabetes in my sophomore year at Colgate University. I was a scholar athlete and just wasn't feeling too good for a while and had all these symptoms. I lost a bunch of weight.
Most people would be happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little bit happy about that.
Not gonna lie.
And kind of team doctors and stuff told me it was just stress of the season and playoffs. And so as an athlete, I sucked it up and I kept going. And then we ended up making the playoffs for the first time. We made the ECAC tournament, so it was a huge deal, and I wasn't going to give that up. I'm a very competitive person. So
I know that.
I definitely wasn't going to let that slip. And I mean, thankfully for my health, we lost to Clarkson. I think we got spanked like 6-1.
First time, though. First time in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you got
first
there.
time. So I got to go home to Canada and see my doctor back home, but I didn't make it to my appointment. My mom took me to the walk-in clinic. Again, they misdiagnosed.
Jeez.
And then finally, just my mom, I guess motherly instinct kicked in, and she took me to the ER, and right away,
They knew.
that they knew. I mean, they tested my blood sugar, and it was like in the 50s. So
What does that mean? I don't know what that means. When you say in the 50s, I'm like, oh, it sounds good to me.
So the glucose level is supposed to be at like 5 to 7.
Oh, my God.
So it was at 50. So the doctor he was stressed. I was stressed, and a few days in the hospital, they got it down to a manageable level. They talked to me for about half an hour, kind of told me the tricks of the trade, and then sent me on my way with all that anxiety. So me and my mom we dealt with it all right. I mean, she was worried for me. I was worried for myself. And I mean, I was worried for her too. I could tell.
Yeah, as a mom,
Yeah.
I know. I would die.
Yeah, I could tell, and I tried to kind of put on a smile, put on a face so she didn't stress out too much. But the next week, I went back to New York with all my new insulin pens and all my
God. And you're like jamming them in your
Yeah.
stomach. Like,
and I
you
mean,
got-
for a while it was pretty easy to manage just because it's called the honeymoon phase. So
Yeah.
I was flying through it. I mean, I don't think I had a low for like the first 2 months, and then all of a sudden I was like, uh-oh.
You hit the wall. Yeah.
Something's going on here, and then
And you were, 19 years old when this happened?
probably 18 or 19.
18. So you're a young kid.
Yeah, and I mean, it was definitely a big lifestyle change, and being in college, and
Like, you
I
can't,
mean-
drink, right? You can't drink beer. You can't eat pizza like most
No, there's-
college kids do.
yeah, I mean, it was definitely a lot of things that had to change,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's serious. You can die,
Yeah.
and especially with alcohol, you got to be careful going to bed if you're having some drinks, and so I
Not
mean,
that you would ever drink
No,
at 18.
no,
Never.
of
And
course
you're an
not.
athlete, so don't
No.
be drinking. What we're just saying, some college kids, you know.
Yeah, some college
And maybe
kids
we're
dabble.
talking to kids that aren't,
Yeah.
athletes. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so it's definitely a lifestyle change, but I adapted, and I mean, it definitely not smartened me up, but it made me more accountable for
Yeah.
my health, and I mean, I am thankful that it's something I can manage, and my mom always makes sure to remind me if I'm having a woe is me day and a big pity party, why me?
No pity party.
No pity party. I mean, you're allowed to have it every once in a while, but it's a way of life, and it's just got to become habit.
Yeah, that's got to be so hard, because A, you're misdiagnosed, you know something's wrong, the adults in charge, aren't doing, like, living up to responsibility, unbeknownst to them, because they're thinking you're just a normal athlete. That's the last thing they're thinking about, right?
Yeah.
That you're a type 1 diabetic. So correct me if I'm wrong. So the type 1 is the type you're born with, and type 2 is the one that's a lifestyle. Can you explain to our viewers what the difference is between type 1 and type 2 diabetes?
Yeah, so took me a while to learn about it too. I mean, I diagnosed myself with WebMD. Like, I went on Google.
Don't do that at home.
And I mean, for the most part, type 1, they used to call it juvenile diabetes because you're diagnosed at 3, 4, 5 years
Really?
old.
Wow.
But I learned the hard way. That's not actually the case, and I don't think it's well known to the public that you can get type 1 diabetes at any point in your life. I think for the most part, the majority of people get it young, but personally, I didn't. I know some people get it in their 50s.
Really?
Yeah. And so type 1 is pretty much your pancreas shuts down because the rest of your cells in your body identify your pancreatic cells, your beta cells, as foreign intruders, and they kill them off.
Get out.
So it's an autoimmune disease,
Yeah.
So, I mean, both my parents have autoimmune diseases, so I'm sure genetics has
Something
to do with it.
Yeah.
But also, doctors told me misuse of antibiotics. I mean, I had a bunch of throat infections at the time, and so prescriptions of antibiotics can kind of mess with your immune system. So that's
That's
type
how you
1.
think you got it.
That's how I think I got it, but
Yeah, who
again,
knows?
I don't know. There's
Type
no way
2
to tell.
is because
And-
you eat more sugar or something? I don't know.
Type 2 is usually, the doctors say, overweight and over 40, so it's more lifestyle.
Got
It has to do with your body not being able to
Handle.
it
process the sugar.
resists your own insulin. So the pancreas is still making your insulin for you when you have type 2, but your body just doesn't know what to do with it. It can't process it, so it plays with that process in the body. So again, same symptoms, but if you can change your lifestyle, your eating habits,
That's good.
exercise, you can reverse it, which, I mean, I wish I
You
could.
can't. You should
I wish
be
I
able
could.
to. Look at you. So, speaking of which, okay, let's get back to hockey a little bit, right? And, you're in the bubble right now. You're high risk. How are you getting through it?
Yeah, I mean, I felt pretty safe. Unfortunately, there's been a couple cases around us, so we're a bit on high alert, but I think we're all holding ourselves accountable, and we're doing all the right things. We're staying away from each other, washing hands, doing all that protocol, and I mean, that's all you can do. I don't think there's any difference of me being here in the bubble versus in a grocery store back home. I don't think, if you come in contact, you come in contact. It's just the way it goes, and I think we're doing lots to stay safe here. So, I mean, being an at-risk person, I mean, obviously, it's nerve-wracking, but I guess I knew that risk coming in here, and I love hockey so much. It's just,
We know
it's a
you
risk
do.
I'm willing to take. So, yeah, I mean, I trust those around me to do the right things, and
Keep us safe.
yeah, keep us safe. I keep you safe. You keep me safe, kind of thing.
Okay, so now you're at the bubble. You're feeling safe. Okay, let's talk about the T6. Let's talk about what it feels like to be in the first franchise in Canada and the NWHL for you, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a surreal experience so far. I mean, so many people back home are watching. There's so much support, and I mean, there's not much going on in the world right now, so I think people are kind of hurting towards us and watching our games, and I mean, we're just starting to roll. Hit a couple bumps in the road, but our motto is flex and flow.
Flex and
we're
flow,
doing
baby! Yeah!
We're doing lots of flexing and flowing, so yeah, I'm I'm so proud to be part of the team, and we have such a good group of women here, and Spiros. We're just having fun with it, and we're not taking it too seriously here. I think
just serious enough,
just
right?
serious enough, yeah. We're having fun with it, but we know there's a job to be done, and we're going to get that job done.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone on our team, especially you, has that attitude, and it's so fun to coach players that are so accountable to the process, are so willing to learn. I mean, we literally, just got on the ice together, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and that's it. So to have this team come together in the fashion that it has been awesome for me. Who are some of the players on the team that you feel like, you've developed really good relationships with? Do you have any good locker room stories that the people back home might want to hear, or, anything fun you want to tell the viewers?
I mean, I'm usually the serious one. I'm always dressed, earphones in when it comes game time. And I know a couple girls from junior hockey, like McNeil, Greco, Claremont. And I mean, just the classic girls being girls, having a good time in the locker room, dancing,
dance party,
singing. And I mean, we're making the most of it. We're doing team trivia on Zoom, and Greco's been the host with her silly microphone.
We got to get that on the podcast. We got to get that.
And I mean, there's a bunch of different personalities, and I mean, Curlew is a big personality. She's a hoot.
She had the hazmat suit on today.
She put the hazmat suit on to
have fun with
ward off the COVID. But yeah,
you get the love line. Your line is the love line. We had a little bit. So I'll explain to the viewers what the love line is. They're red in practice. So in my head, they're kind of love. But then we split them up because they were together at the beginning, and we're like, oh, let's try a few different combinations, and then. Sure enough, the love line got back together, and we can't take them apart. They're just unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're a high energy line.
You guys have a lot of the offense, right? You guys have gotten a lot of goals.
Yeah, we've been producing lots.
Getting a lot of ice as a result.
Lots of ice, yeah. Mac and Marcuzzi are paired on the PK, and I'm with Fluke on the PK, so we're rolling.
And power play you are,
and
too.
Yes, power play, and so lots of ice time, all situations, and I mean, we're all similar and we're all different, so I think we mesh pretty well, and I'm excited to see
what we do next.
Yeah, what we do next. So.
Well, that's cool. So we're going to wrap it up. Is there any advice you can give to, any young people that are playing the game or playing the sport or any sport, not only with diabetes, but, how do they overcome adverse situations? Just a little advice for the people out there, how you deal with stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just have fun with it. Believe in yourself. You can do anything you put your mind to. And I think another piece of advice is always listen to your mom. Your mom's always usually right.
Yeah, moms.
Yeah,
give credit to those moms.
Moms are great, and as much as they can get on your nerves sometimes, they mean well, and they know you the best out of anyone in the world. So. I mean, my mom's always got my back, and she's always telling me, you need to do this on the ice, you should do this.
I love
as much as I roll
Mom's
my
coaching.
eyes.
Mom's coaching.
And she hasn't played a lick of hockey in her life. I mean, she was an athlete, but she's watched me since I was little, so
it's awesome.
I take that advice, and I run with it. So, and she's normally right about everything. So,
there we go.
Mom, if you're listening.
She'll be listening. Mom, you're the best. Thank you for having a daughter like this. I hope every daughter can be like Bree. But seriously, that's a great piece of advice. I don't think enough moms get credit for all the stuff that they do, and I think that's a perfect ending. I think we'll have to re-show this on Mother's Day, too, because moms, we appreciate you. Well, that's it. This is Digit Murphy for Breannes Wilson-Bennett from the Bubble. Over and out.